Mouse Trouble News fans, normally I don't do videos about other YouTube users or incidents that occur on YouTube. However, I was just unable to keep my comments to myself on this one, I suppose. The Young Turks have put forward a video criticizing Alex Jones' statement that he is bigger and more recognized and has more views than the Young Turks. He did say that, and he said that he was bigger, he had more views, he was more important. However, when the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, went ahead and checked the numbers, it turned out that, in fact, he was wrong. Young Turks does have more views than he does. Alex Jones then went off into this thing about how YouTube recently just made him lose 10,000 subscribers. But you see, the thing is, as Cenk properly pointed out, was that we knew this was coming. YouTube said they were going to pretty much just purge all of the dead accounts, ones that people don't use, they don't log into, and are just pretty much a waste of time. And they did tell us that this was coming. Even Happy Cabby made a video about it. He was saying that since he lost 10,000 subscribers, that it was a conspiracy against him and whatnot, and clearly it wasn't. The Young Turks said they lost about 10,000 subscribers. Even myself, I lost about 100 subscribers. For some reason, if you look on the channel info, it has a different number than what's listed under subscribers. There's a fair difference, 100-something difference. I don't know why that is, but it is. So it's not really a conspiracy. YouTube, told us ahead of time that this was coming. Alex Jones also did make a very good point that the Young Turks didn't actually address, was the fact that Alex Jones doesn't have partnership, and that he says he can't get it. Now, Cenk Uygur just kind of blew him off and just said, well, oh, you're a crazy guy, you got no shirt on, and you don't have partnership because you're crazy. Now, actually, I thought that was actually very telling by the fact that Alex Jones, despite all the views that he has, despite the subscribers, he actually doesn't have partnership. And in fact, I was under the impression that he actually did. I'm actually pretty surprised to find out that he actually doesn't have partnership. He said he's being kept out of partnership because he's too challenging of the system, and it's a conspiracy against him and his show, and that he says he really doesn't care because he still has the radio show and he's getting his message out there and he's successful, he's had an uphill struggle and whatnot. I thought it was very telling that he actually didn't have it. I actually couldn't say why. I mean, the views are there, so they would have the money. So they would get the money. I mean, if I had it, and I had, did I even have 3,000 subscribers at the time? No, I think I had it before I had 3,000 subscribers, and I actually did get it. But that's actually just really strange. But Cenk kind of just blew him off and just said, "Oh, it's because you're crazy. That's why you don't get partnership." And frankly, I don't think that that's true. I don't really think that's actually the case with Alex Jones. There's got to be something else. There must be something else that's going on. The most likely cause I could probably think would be that something Alex Jones says, or the things that he says, could be construed as slander, and YouTube is afraid for, liability issues. I mean, maybe. I mean, the mainstream news doesn't really get hit with slander accusations that much. Maybe because of the abstract nature of what Alex Jones does, that maybe they are concerned for that. But that would have to be a guess on my part. I really don't know why he doesn't. And, Alex Jones said that Cenk Uygur doesn't. He's there, and he's got that, and he's got the red carpet treatment and whatnot because he's still part of the corporate elite. He's part of the conspiracy and whatnot. I'm going to have to disagree with Alex Jones on this one. I don't think Cenk is a part of the conspiracy. I mean, he's media. Superficially, not much any different than any other liberal media. I mean, it's fairly obvious that he's liberal, and the whole show is liberal, and it's actually, I wouldn't even really call it progressive, but I would say it's liberal. In that context, I would say Cenk doesn't really challenge the system. The Young Turks doesn't challenge the system, although I'm sure they really think they do. They believe that when they call a politician on something, okay, you did this, that's wrong, and we're saying it, we're calling it on you, even though maybe a lot of the mainstream in one particular situation or another might actually ignore it. I don't think the Young Turks actually really does. I mean, one thing that does characterize Cenk and does characterize the Young Turks is that they will say, this bad thing happened, this bad thing happened, this was corporate greed that did this, this was the greed of a businessman, and it's wrong, it shouldn't happen, it's disreputable, all kinds of things. But at no point will Cenk actually make the connection between the profit motive and these things. Oh, these guys, they're going for the wars because, you know, they want the money for the bombs and the contractors and everything else and access to the oil, all to make money. But at no point does he ever make the connection between doing something to get money and the profit motive. That is the profit motive, to get money. Of course, he'll always stop at that point. He won't actually go and actually criticize the source of these people doing the things that they do. He just traces the source as these people, what they're doing, not the source that's driving them to do what they're doing. Just blame the people actually doing it. It's a lot like the I want to regulate evil kind of thing. You know, the profit motive does these bad things, but won't actually criticize the profit motive for doing anything bad. As he has said in the past, the profit motive is amoral. It can do bad things and it can do good things. And without those, we need those good things it does. We'll need again, an argument why that's completely untrue is a completely different video for another time. But we can see that he doesn't really challenge the system. He won't challenge the core of what actually makes the system what it is. Now, I think in that context, Alex Jones does challenge the system even more. I mean, he makes some pretty ridiculous connections sometimes, and he has this absolutely absurd idea that America is a socialist country, and that Obama is a socialist, and all this other complete garbage. I mean, a complete system based on the private profit of the individual must be socialism. I mean, it's pretty much Mises level insanity, but Alex Jones is coming from more from a conspiracy type viewpoint. I mean, his idea that there's a secret cabal of people out there running things and controlling the system and manipulating things in their favor, like, yeah, that's called the capitalist class. The people who profit from the system that keep it going for their own benefit. That's called capitalism. It's done to make money. But somehow, going through all of this to increase their own personal wealth is socialism. I mean, that's just absolutely insane, and shows his complete blithering ignorance of socialism and socialist theory and what it is. Cenk, a little bit better in that regard, but still doesn't get it. But again, these people are what they are. Although it was interesting to listen to Alex Jones say how he was fighting uphill against the system. Although he really doesn't challenge it all that much. All he does is advocate more capitalism. Well, you can see why the system wouldn't actually be against that message, seeing how it's a capitalist system. I don't fully know all his economic beliefs. By the way that he propounds that Ron Paul is the only non-bot politician seems to pretty much indicate what they might be. But it's interesting that he doesn't make the connection, along with the Ron Paul cultists, the Mises people and whatnot, they don't make the connection that if everything in the government is bought and owned by the corporate elite, the financial aristocracy, which it is, it absolutely is, and they own all the politicians and they own the entire system and they've got a complete monopoly over it, that somehow Ron Paul is going to get elected. If they own that entire system, why would they let somebody get elected who would challenge it? I mean, the idea is just insane. here's this thing that we have zero control over it. If we just put this one guy in a position, that'll all change. It's just, he won't get in. The same reason why a socialist politician would never get in. That's why, in many cases in history, it has taken violent revolution to overthrow these things. I could just imagine these guys back in the American Revolution. Well, if we just elect one guy, that'll totally change everything. This one anti-monarch come in and he'll be elected and everything will change. Well, why didn't they just do that? You know, it's like the criticism. Oh, why did they kill so many people in the Russian Revolution to get rid of a despotic leader? Why did you kill so many people to get rid of a despotic leader in the Revolutionary War? Your Revolutionary War is wrong, but the Russians are. Okay, America overthrows a monarchy in their country. It's okay. Russians overthrow a monarchy in their country, then it's bad. But I'm just getting way off topic here. So, I don't think Alex Jones really challenges anything at all. Even if it does, it does to a slight degree. But the Young Turks don't challenge anything at all. And I think it's really funny that Alex Jones says he's had to push uphill to where he's gotten, even though he doesn't really challenge anything. Although myself, as a Marxist, to the very limited degree of success that I've ever had, have pushed not as far. I haven't gone as far uphill as him, but I've had a much harder time with it. It's very easy to do three things. Broadcast a liberal standpoint. Broadcast a conservative standpoint. Ridiculously easy. Anybody can do it, and it doesn't even require even much of an intelligence to do either one. The only difference is how good you do it. It's easy, but obviously the people that are better at it are going to be more successful at it. And the third thing is to do the conspiracy angle. That's also pretty easy. There's a lot of conspiracy-style partners on YouTube, and they have partnership and Alex Jones doesn't. I mean, the logical conclusion there would be that those people don't have the kind of influence that Alex Jones does. But I mean, come on. It's pretty much the same message. Also, I just wanted to say it's also pretty funny to listen to Alex Jones go, the corporations are blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Now, here's a message from a corporation. Now, I know that there are corporate advertisements on my channel, and I block as many of them as I can relatively get away with. I mean, if I were to get rid of them, I would have nothing at all. But it's different when he himself personally sells the item on their behalf, when he does the celebrity endorsement. I don't endorse products. I put on there what YouTube tells me to put on there. I don't personally do commercials for corporate products. It wouldn't happen. It's just interesting to see someone talk so much like the corporations are evil and not real capitalism, and then use the entire profit motive to go in and go for those products. I mean, again, it's not that the corporate products are advertised because, obviously, as Marx said, no one can live as a communist in capitalism. It's just not possible. It's when he personally endorses something that just makes it seem like... And to point out a problem caused by a corporation, and the solution lies, according to him, in a corporation, just doesn't seem to make any sense to me. I say corporations are the problem. Capitalism is the problem. The solution I put forward, smash capitalism. Smash corporations. It'd be quite another thing if I turned around and said, no, but this corporation is the solution to the problems caused by corporations. That being the primary difference there. But I gotta say, Alex Jones, man, wow, he massively failed. When he was trying to say that he had more views and he was more popular than the Young Turks, complete fail. Again, I don't normally ever talk about things like this. I dread to ever deal with any of the things that go on YouTube because they're not real life and they have no actual relevance in the real world or in my own life. But I just thought it was just impossible to resist this one to come up because somebody did send me a message saying they wanted my opinion on this, and I thought, oh well, it's an easy video, just throw out my opinion and there it goes. So those were my thoughts regarding what happened with Alex Jones and the Young Turks.